You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
They said the truth was buried deep in files they tried to burn. David's on the mic now, it's the people's turn. From shadow men in black to creatures in the mist, he's cracking open secrets that the government dismissed. Spooky lights above us, he's tracking every blink. Aliens, cryptids, yeah, he's making you think. With a journal full of clues and a wild-eyed hunch, he's talking ghost towns, lost time, Bigfoot's lunch. Old Dayvid don't know, but he's looking for the code on a long dark road where the weird ones go. Mics stay hot when the stories unfold, digging through the static for the truth untold. From pyramids on Mars to sounds in the night, he's chasing after whispers just beyond the light. Tinfoil hat, nah, it's a crown for the bold. Turn the dial up, these tales don't grow old.
Hey, it's David from Down the Rabbit Hole, host of Dayvid Don't Know, and this is episode 8. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Tommy Cullum, the host of Let's Get Freaky. Tommy's a good friend, and we do talk about a ton of stuff, so this one's going to be pretty good. But first, spooky story. This one comes from a rideshare rider that I was taking to work. And she had some interesting stuff to tell. So I asked her if she had any paranormal stories, and she came up with one when she was 8 or 9 years old. She was living at home, obviously, with her parents and her bigger brother, or 2 years older, I believe she said. And the way the story went, she was playing basketball down the street. I guess at a park, and it was getting close to dinner time. So her father, the disciplinarian, sent her brother to go and get her. So he went, told her that she was expected home, but she said, no, I want to play with my friends. So he came back and told him what she said. And of course he got very upset. So after a while, she came home and he was very angry. He told her she needed to help her mom with dinner. But first, go outside in the backyard and get a switch from the tree, which, of course, he was going to use on them. They both went out. But instead of doing that, they just started playing around because they didn't want to get that switch and they didn't want the next part to happen. So It was getting darker. They were running around the tree, and then they heard what they said was a weird noise coming from inside this big tree. She was alarmed right away. Her brother was still playing around. What happened next was the tree itself, this large tree, began to shake from side to side very violently. And so they're both stopped, looking up at the tree, backing away slowly as they were. Her brother was trying to comfort her by saying, it's probably nothing. It's probably a big bird or something like that. And she was really afraid. And then this large creature jumped from the tree and started to fly away. But it was huge. And the one thing she remembered before it jumped off was that it had huge glowing red eyes. And it lifted into the sky, flapping its giant wings and making this crazy noise. Finally, they came back inside telling their parents that they saw some creature outside and they were scared. And of course, the dad didn't believe them and made them go back outside, which is, of course, this is the place they did not want to be. But she thinks she may have seen a lechuza. I actually don't agree. This took place here in San Antonio. I think she saw a version of the Mothman. And the reason I say that is because not long after that, I mean, we all know that the Mothman is a harbinger of doom, right? He's there to, if you see him, something bad is going to take place. Well, it wasn't long after this that her father passed away. Very young age. So could that have been the Mothman she saw? What could be that strong to shake an entire tree? Very strong, huge tree, and fly away with these giant wings with glowing red eyes. I think it's the Mothman. I don't know. That's just me. All right, man, let's get started.
Where the weird ones go production.
Welcome back, everybody, for episode 8. Today, I have a very special guest, a guy that I look up to a great deal. It was because of him. This was the second podcast I ever did as a guest. And it's because of this guy that I felt like, I might be able to do this, because I was like, let me tell you, man, I was terrified. But Tommy put me at ease, and Tommy's amazing. And, if you haven't seen Let's Get Freaky, there's something wrong with you. You got to get out there and check it out. That's one hell of a podcast. So let me welcome in Tommy Cullum, everybody. Tommy.
Hi, my brother.
Welcome,
Man.
sir.
Thank you, bro. You gave me goosebumps with that introduction. Brother.
Dude. Yeah, man. The second ever podcast I ever did was with you.
And you was
guest.
Amazing. I remember you saying like you was nervous and it was like the first, like the second podcast you'd done.
It was the second one. The first one, I don't even remember that one. But I came on with you. You made me feel at ease. It was like just having a conversation with a good buddy, man. And I thought I could do this because the whole time before I was like, there's no way I can do this, man.
I knew you could do it. As soon as I spoke to you, you was amazing, man. You was a natural.
Oh man. Thank you so much for that. So Tommy, let's get started, man. Like, you're from England, am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. You have the accent. It checks out.
I can't lose that. Yeah, no, I'm from Essex, which is just outside of London. So
shit.
So I used to work in London. Essex and London are pretty similar. We talk the same. The Cockney accent. I don't think I've got the Cockney that bad. I say a few Cockney words, I guess, but
I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know the difference.
I live in Dorset now, so I'm on the south coast.
Okay,
I'm a bit more of a country area. I'm right close to the beach. I'm close to the sea. And yeah, man, it's a bit calmer where I am now. London's a little bit more wild, but
is that good for the kids? I know you have kids.
Yeah, 3 kids. Yeah, 2 girls and a boy. Yeah, that's a big reason as well. I mean, London's great. Don't get me wrong. I love London.
Right.
A lot of family in London. I head back. I'm going to London next week. I'm always in London, but I think we did want to bring the kids up in more of a country kind of environment,
nice,
forest walks, and yeah.
That's awesome, man. And you have a dog too, right? Am I wrong?
I've got a dog. I've got a crazy little dog. Yeah, Blue, little Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
Dude. I've seen many pictures of Blue. Yes,
he's my pride and joy. It's funny because I didn't really want a dog. It's one of them classics. My wife was like, "Let's get a dog," and I'm like, "No," because I'm going to be the one that's walking it, and and I'm going to fall in love with him, and I have, and he's amazing.
Dude.
But I wouldn't change it. Wouldn't change it, man.
That's awesome, man. So I'm noticing your New York Yankees hat there.
Yeah, I've had a bit of criticism for this recently.
Why?
I'm a Boston Red Sox fan.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And I know I shouldn't be wearing a New York Yankees hat, but they're so cool. And this was actually a gift from my kids on Father's Day.
Oh, how
so
nice,
I was
man.
Like, because I'm always wearing hats, but
yeah, me too.
I've got a Boston hat. This is terrible. This is like, you shouldn't be able to do this anywhere. Look, see, I'm a real, it's not good. It's like in the UK, if you support, Manchester United and Liverpool, Arsenal and Tottenham, you shouldn't be able to support both, obviously. And
exactly, I totally get that, man. I'm a huge Cowboy fan. And, I have a lot of friends who are other fans. I don't even know what they're called, man, because there's only one team that I follow, right?
That's it, man.
Yeah. And you're a big fan of America. Am I wrong?
Oh, huge. I want to live in the US. And my wife, because so we originally was in London and we made the move to Dorset, which is only a 2.5 hour drive, but it felt like a big move because we were moving away from family and stuff. And the next move we think is probably going to be the US. That's the goal. That is the goal, man. Yeah.
So are you thinking about going to Boston? You thinking about moving there, or what do you?
New England is sort of like the place at the moment. Between New England, I mean, even like the outskirts of Canada, so I can just walk into America.
Oh, dude, if you go to Maine, my good buddy Kevin, who is the producer of this show,
Where the Weird Ones Are, absolutely.
Yes, he's awesome. That you be close to him. Mm-hmm. Another one of my buds, Joe from Tales, Trails, and Taverns. He's in Rhode Island, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, man. So that's where I'm thinking. That's the cop. But anywhere in America, really. I think the whole of the US is beautiful, and there's so many places that I'd like to go, and that's the goal. That's where I feel like I'm being pulled to. And the wife even said to me yesterday about moving to America. So I'm like, she's in as well.
She's in. Okay. I thought she might be like, no, I don't want to go there. There's too many guns and there's too many. But no, she's in. That's cool, man.
I want a gun. I want a gun. Oh. I've got a BB gun, but I want a real.
Oh, well, you can get all sorts of guns over here, my friend. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's a good idea I shouldn't have a gun, really, but.
Hey, let me ask you, is it cold where you're at normally, or is it a warm climate? What are we talking about?
Well, right now it's very hot. I guess the UK weather is pretty similar to like New York, the East Coast. We get hot summers. Sometimes it rains, and at the moment it's very hot. Everyone's complaining about the heat. People can't.
I mean, you know what England's like. I'm sorry, England. You know what London's like. It can be hectic. New York is just like that. Philadelphia. There's a lot of places on the East Coast that guys are rough. Like, people are rough there. You know what I'm saying? They can be tough with you. But if you decided to move to Texas, that's where I'm at. People here are freaking nice, dude. They're nice.
I'd love to come to Texas.
Texas is so awesome, especially San Antonio, because that's where I'm at. It's because the people are friendly. They will come up, talk to you. They'll treat you with respect, and very kind. I love that about this town. People are really good to each other here.
I would love to come to Texas.
The only thing is, Tommy, it's hot as hell in the summertime. You can't take it, my brother. It's too hot here. Yeah. Way too hot.
As long as I can find some shade.
Right.
It's
not enough.
It's
not enough, man. Because of the wind, when it's really this hot, like I think it got close to 100 today, if not 100.
Wow.
if you get to the shade, it's good because you don't want to be in the sun. But when it blows, like the wind, it's the hottest air. You don't want it blown on you. You know, it's not cool at all. It's terrible.
Do you know what though? I do prefer the hot. I mean, I love.
Do you really?
Yeah, I love wintertime around like Halloween and the Christmas season. I love it when it's freezing and snowing, and I really enjoy that time of year. I love that time of year. But other than that, I'd be well happy with it if it was like this now all the time.
Really?
I love the heat, even though I'm a ginger guy and I'm not really made for the heat. You know, I'm made for like cold, Scandinavia. You know.
Well, if you like the heat, man, this would be a place to go because it is.
Yeah, hot. I do. I like the heat, and I mean everywhere's got aircon, right? You know.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I think basically AC was invented here in San Antonio. Like one of the first buildings here had AC. And that's that's one of the things. I was gonna ask you. Damn it! Now it slipped my mind. What the hell was I gonna ask you, man?
I do that all the time. I hate that.
Age, bro.
That is why I write things down. If you ever watch Let's Get Freaky on YouTube, you always see that I've got a pen and I've got a pad right next to me because the amount of time because I'll let the guests share their experience. And I don't want to cut in unless they stop. But I'll write down what I'm gonna because the amount of times I forget, and I've also got a bit of an ADHD brain as well, and I've got like 10 questions at the same time, and I'm like, so I have to write stuff down, man.
You're giving me some tips right here. You got any more tips like that? Because that's a good one.
Writing down, I think that because, and also as well, my handwriting and my spelling is atrocious. So I'll write stuff down, and I'm looking at it, and I can't even read it or tell what I've written. Anyways,
that's funny, man.
Scribbles, but I find that helps.
I've noticed on your show, you have a very, you're like really good at interviewing people. Like you've gotten that down to a science, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You have that. See, I'm like kind of the guy. I hate to admit this, but sometimes when I have a guest on and they're saying something, I talk over them and I'm like, damn, I shouldn't do that shit. You're a master of not doing that. You're really good at not doing that.
I mean, when I first started Let's Get Freaky, I was so I still get nervous sometimes. Yeah. But I was so nervous. Like I would just like sitting there listening to the guest talking and just thinking, I've got to talk now. But I think once you do it so often, like you just get used to. Yeah, I'm gonna say stupid things. I know I say stupid things sometimes, but you just gotta just go for it, man.
Just go for it, huh?
But I do try and listen to the guest because I find a lot of the time I'll think of a question while they're talking, and 9 times out of 10 they will, if they're just carrying on talking, they will answer that question that I have before, and then But that's awesome. It just depends on the guest as well. Like sometimes you get guests that want you to ask lots of questions. Sometimes you get guests that don't want you to ask questions. It's just the balance, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and you're good at that. You weigh it down pretty good. I noticed that.
I enjoy it. Like yourself, I enjoy talking to people. So
it's funny because before I started doing this, I was like, I wouldn't talk to anybody. It was just me and my girlfriend here in the house. I don't hang out with people, man. I don't have friends around here, dude. I'm not like that. So this was wild. It's kind of a crazy thing that I started doing this. And because of you and your kindness, I was able to see, wait, I can probably do this, but I felt because I did a few after, and I've done hundreds now. I've done hundreds of guest spots, but you had this ability to make me feel at home. Like I was, I could actually, I'm talking to my buddy, I'm talking to my best bud. And that's what it felt like. And it was like, oh dude, this is comfortable as hell, man. I can do this.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. No, thank you. Thank you very much. That means a lot, bro. That really does. I really like. I don't know. I just like having real conversations. Like sometimes you'll get people that say, "What are we going to talk about? Let's go through it before we talk." And I never do that. I never plan an episode.
Oh,
I know the guest that I'm talking to most of the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know where we're going to go. Really, I know it's going to be paranormal and conspiracy, but we can go anywhere. I never plan.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's awesome, man. I know that. I picked up on that from you. So now I'm a rideshare driver. I've been doing that for a couple of years now, and I'm able to pick up when someone wants to talk and when someone doesn't want to talk, which is something that like it took some practice, to get that. But when they want to talk, I start to interview them. You know, I start asking questions. I start saying, oh, well, and they start opening up and telling me all these stories, dude. And before every episode, I record a pre where I tell a story from one of my rideshare drivers. So, yeah, dude, I've gotten some great stories, man. Oh, creepy stories. This place, San Antonio, is super haunted, man. It's super haunted. So it's really nice to.
I'm coming.
Yeah, you should. You should come and visit, man. You would love it here.
Definitely.
Let me ask you, dude. Who you've had? How many guests have you had? Over 270, or what are we talking?
So I've done. I'm over 300.
Holy smack,
we're just coming up to 300 episodes. I think yesterday I dropped 293rd episode, but I've got episodes in the bank ready to go. And I've got quite a few episodes that are, ready to go.
Nice.
I just put them out. I try and put them out as quick as possible, but obviously sometimes you'll get an episode, it just doesn't feel like the right time to go out, and then there is a right time for it to go out, depending on the conversations that you've had and stuff. But I've interviewed over 300 people now. Over 300 people.
Let me ask you, who's your favorite interview?
Oh, that's difficult. You man. You're definitely up there, brother. 100%, man. So easy to talk to. I don't know. I haven't got a favorite. I really haven't.
No?
I know. I haven't got a favorite. I honestly enjoy talking to everyone that I've spoken to.
Really? I believe that, dude. I believe that about you. You're so freaking cool, man. You just come across like natural, and you're just energetic all the time.
Stop it, man.
You're a legend, sir.
You're a legend.
You're a legend.
No, I really honestly enjoy, because the thing is as well is I get a lot of people message, and I'm sure you get this as well, where they'll message you and they'll say, I haven't really got any crazy stories to share. A few things have happened, but not enough to come on a podcast and talk about it. And I'm like, no, definitely come on and talk, because the amount of times that someone has said that to me, and then I've had them come on the podcast, and we have this incredible conversation, and they've had some amazing experiences, but in their mind it's not enough for a pot. And I never understand that, because every paranormal experience I find so interesting, even like the small ones, even like some people haven't seen anything, but they've had feelings and they've heard things, and weird things have happened, and I find them just as interesting as the other spectrum. When you talk to people that have had alien abductions, have encountered Bigfoot and things like that, I find it all so interesting, man.
Oh yeah, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So I'll ask questions like when I pick someone up, and I'll ask them, hey, do you have a paranormal story? And it's funny to me that right away it's like, no, I don't. And then a couple of minutes later, well, I don't know if this counts, but they'll tell me this wacky story, dude. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, it counts, dude. It counts.
Yeah. I don't know if this counts. I was abducted when I was 10. Okay.
Oh, snap.
The amount of times you hear that, man, it's unreal. When people say, I don't really believe in this kind of stuff, but then they'll say there was this one time where there was this lady sitting on the end of my bed at night, and they'll tell you this incredible ghost encounter, or one of my friends, when I first started Let's Get Freaking, I was talking about the paranormal. He said, I'm not sure, man, I don't really believe in it. He said there was one night where I went to the toilet during the night, came back to my room, and all my toys were like suspended in the air, in midair, and then just dropped. And he said he was just had no idea what was going on. And I was like, that's incredible, man. That is a paranormal experience,
Oh my God. You didn't even know that, man. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's funny, dude.
Most people have had some sort of experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And but I think that some people are just not comfortable talking about it. But you know what I've noticed? Oh, snap. UFO, for example. Yeah, I don't know how old you are. I'm in my 50s, early 50s.
You're looking good, mate. You look younger.
Thank you. Brother. Going back to like the 70s and the early 80s and whatnot, if anyone were to talk about an experience back then, they were viewed as crazy. Right off the bat, you were nuts. There's no way, right? Today is completely different, man, because everyone is more accepting of this. It seems like it's easily, you can easily talk about it, especially if you've had some sort of abduction story, or you've seen an alien land or something like this. And it's fascinating. What do you think is the difference between then and now, dude? What do you think made that so acceptable?
A huge difference. Huge. Yeah. And I think like even my dad's generation, like my dad's had experiences and used to talk to me about it growing up. So I was used to that. But I think like past that, then it's like my nan and granddad's generation, even they did have experiences as well. But you find that generation doesn't like talking about this stuff at all.
Exactly.
They've had these experiences, but they don't want to talk about it. And I guess there's a lot of reasons for that. Maybe some of it is because, I do believe when you talk about the paranormal, you do invite it in as well. I do believe that happens. So maybe going back, that was another reason why people didn't want to talk about it, because it was like, if I talk about this stuff, I'm inviting it in. There's going to be more happening. I guess now there's more podcasts, there's more documentaries on the TV. There's it's much more in culture, I guess, in like pop culture, in the mainstream. Even the mainstream news is talking about UFOs now, which probably didn't happen, I don't know, 5-10 years ago at all, really.
Exactly.
So that's the change.
And now there's disclosure that governments are saying that, it's real, it's happened, whatever. Absolutely. I guess that makes a huge difference. So what experience did your dad have? My dad,
he had a few experiences. And funny enough, when he was like early 20s, him and his friends were away in Southwold in the UK. And it's like a beach town, like a seaside kind of town, small little nice town. And he was staying in a hotel, and he woke up during the night to this is way before he met my mum, I think, and had me. So he didn't have. I was nowhere. I was floating around wherever I was. I don't know. But he woke up to a ginger man staring at him over his bed, which is quite strange. That like thinking like a ginger man.
Yeah.
And he said he woke up, saw this dude, ran out the room, like shut the door, thinking that there's a man in the room.
Yeah.
He's gone back in. And there was no one in there.
And
it wasn't through the window or anything like that. But he saw that. He had another experience as well. He used to stay in Devon, which is about 2 hours away from me now. It's like a lovely little, quite a spooky little village. It's a county, but where he used to stay was like a spooky little village. And then the name of Dartmoor's the name of the village. And it's got like a lot of pixie laws and there's a lot of ghost stories there, and very spooky town.
That's cool.
And my dad used to do horse riding when he was younger. He had 2 horses, and this is quite a weird one. So in this town, there is, just outside the town, there is a grave of a young lady called Jay. That this was hundreds of years ago. She took her own life, and they because back then this was seen as a sin. They buried her they wouldn't bury her in the graveyard. They buried her out on the road. Wow. I know, it's horrible. And she also I believe she was pregnant, and it was out of wedlock, and I think it was an affair. So it was quite, it's back then it was very much frowned upon. And terrible. But they buried her out of the town, and basically just on a roadside, just in the middle of nowhere. Basically, there's this graveyard, and they call it Jay's grave. And the legend is that every day the flowers on the gravestone change.
Oh wow!
And my dad said when he was younger, you would see there were new flowers every day. This is probably a legend, because you'd be able to prove now. You could watch it all night and see the flowers change. I don't know if it happens or not, but this is the story when my dad was younger. I believe now it is it's more noticeable, but I saw it as a kid, and it literally, you wouldn't even know it was there. There was like a tiny little stone, and you could easily drive past it and not even see it, or walk past it. But my dad used to go horse riding, but with his friends. They would stay at this place, and they were coming up towards this grave, and they didn't see it. And his friend, who was a young girl, her horse rode over the grave.
Oh,
yeah. And as soon as she did, the horse bolted, threw her off the horse, went crazy out of character, and she broke her arm.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And then they went back the next year, same place. Obviously, it was kind of strange that it happened after the grave, but they weren't sort of putting it down to that. It was like could have been
It
something
was like
to do with
like an accident, right? Just happened or whatever.
yeah. They just thought it was just one of those things. But
Yeah.
the next year they were on the same path, same girl, same group of friends, riding towards the grave again, and they got to the grave, the same horse, the same girl. The horse went crazy. It's like it remembered this place from before. It went crazy, threw her off. She broke her leg this time. So
shit!
Yeah, so two really bad. So my dad always put that down to being Jay's grave.
Yeah. What if the horse is seeing something that no one else can see? You know,
very possible. Very possible. Ooh. Yeah, absolutely. Animals. They say animals and kids. They see things all the time, but at that time, my dad put that down to the fact that she rode over the grave.
Yeah.
That first time. And yeah.
Damn, that's two broken bones. Holy crap.
Something else weird happened when I was a kid there. So I remember, we used to stay in Cornwall. But to get to Cornwall, you have to drive through Devon. So we always used to visit this town because my dad used to go on holiday there when he was a kid. So he always used to like going back and showing us the places. And we were driving through. And my dad said, I want to show you Jay's grave, you know?
Yeah.
Cheers, Dad. Yeah. But anyway, he's got near it and he can't find it. So this is how hard it was to see it. Like, you really have to know where it is. And he's like, I don't know where it is. It's somewhere around here. And he's reversing in the car, like turning around in the road. And my mum suddenly shouts, stop, you're about to hit the grave. Like, my dad was about to reverse in the grave. And this is really weird, and it could be something to do with it. It's just maybe a coincidence, but I don't really believe in coincidences anymore. My nan rung up my mum as we were there, as this just happened. Jay's grave. Now, my nan had a dog called Jay. And my nan rung up my mum and went, I've got some really bad news. I had to put the dog down, Jay. And so we got that news just as we was at Jay's grave. I know, it's so weird. So I've always had like a weird thing associated with that because my dad's had some weird experiences there. And
that is crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hey, so is your dad a ginger like you?
He's not. No.
He's not. No. Okay.
My mum's not either.
So when he saw that person, did it look like you? Did he be like...
I did say that to my dad. I was like, could you have been seeing a future version of me? Like,
yeah.
But he said he had like a stripy top on. And he was just like a ginger man. It's very strange. Like,
holy crap.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah, man. My dad also had another experience. I don't know if I've shared this on any podcast. I'm not sure. I might have done. But
no, you didn't.
I've never said this before. So my granddad, my mum's dad, so his father-in-law, they were very close. You know, they'd go drinking together. They're very close. And they both said to each other, like, if one of us goes, they was obviously talking about the kind of stuff we talk about, the paranormal and stuff. And they said to each other, whoever goes first, we're going to let the other person know. Like, you will know. I'm going to show you. So that this was like a little pact that they had.
Yeah.
And when my granddad was really sick, you know, we knew he was going to pass. I was very young. I was 13, and we got the phone call, and my dad went down. My mum was like, couldn't bear it, you know,
really
very upset. So my dad went to be with him as he passed. And my dad was there at the hospital all night, and the nurse was like, I don't know if he's going to go tonight. You know, you should go maybe, and we'll let you know what's going on in the morning. So my dad's left. He said his goodbyes. You know, didn't know if that was going to be. My granddad was pretty much out of it, but he was still technically still alive.
Yeah,
but he wasn't like saying anything. He was completely out of it. And so my dad's left. Literally, as my dad got in, he was obviously gutted as everyone was, but he went into the garden for a cigarette, and he's smoking in the garden, and he said he just felt this sensation go through his body that he'd never felt before, like an unbelievable sensation. And he was just like, he said it was like amazing. Like, he couldn't really explain it, but he just felt this something move through him. His words, something moved through him, and he said like he just knew it was my granddad.
Really?
Like, he knew it was him, like sending a message. And then 2 minutes later, phone call from the hospital.
2 minutes later?
Very quickly after.
Wow.
My granddad had passed, and they were telling us.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah, man, I've got goosebumps. Yeah, talking
Holy
about that.
crap.
Yeah,
You really let him know, like
let him
kept
know.
it back. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So again, it's tough because my dad said it was an unbelievable sensation. For the skeptics, you could say he was very stressed. He was,
Mhm.
he was losing his like a father figure, obviously,
Right.
and yeah. But that happened, man. So my dad's had a few experiences as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I've heard of stories where people will appear to their loved ones, even though they're nowhere near that place that they're at. And they'll see them, and it seems like they're just standing there, or they're trying to talk, and then they disappear, and then they get the message that they had passed.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, another weird thing I found is like my uncle had passed. It's been a while now, but I remember being in the hospital with him and talking to him and sitting there, and then he started having a conversation. I thought he was talking to me, but he wasn't. He was talking to someone else, but there was no one else in there. I was like, what the hell? And he's speaking Spanish. I understand a great deal of Spanish. He also speaks English, right? But for whatever reason, he just switched to Spanish. And then I noticed that he was talking to my aunt, who had been dead for a very long time at that point. Yeah. And I was like, oh, and it wasn't long after that he passed. So it seems like they're being prepared by
Mm-hmm.
meeting people who have passed, and they're like letting them know,
Mm-hmm.
either the time is coming or everything's going to be okay, or whatever it is that they're letting them know. But yeah, my grandfather, same thing. He talked to, my aunt again, the same person.
Wow.
And my uncle, because my grandfather lived longer than my uncle. He died in 2005. My uncle died before that, and he said, my dad said that he was in the hospital with him, and he went to go get something to drink. And when he came back, my grandfather said, "Oh, you scared him." And my dad said, "Who?" He said, "Junior," because my uncle's name is Junior. He said, "He was just here, and you walked in, and you scared him away." And he's been dead for a long time, man. So it's very strange. Not long after that, my grandfather passed. He had leukemia, and he was going through chemotherapy, and it was too much for him. So it was like a day or two later he passed.
Wow.
It's weird.
And you hear that so often. Like I've talked to nurses that work, in that environment when they're seeing people pass all the time, and a lot of the time they'll say the same thing, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
They'll be talking to someone that's seemingly not there, and it is like, are they coming to sort of, I don't know, comfort them in that time? I don't know what it is.
It seems like that's what it is. Like they're there to let them know everything's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here, visit with you. The next step's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very strange. I do remember I was following a nurse on Instagram, and she was a hospice nurse, or is a hospice nurse. Well, she wrote a book because she was having way too many similar experiences, like what we're talking about. And in this book, she has a lot of stories where she can tell when the patient was about to expire, because they're having conversations with someone that's not there, and that's pretty much a telltale sign that it's coming. So apparently it happens a lot. Apparently,
it's quite a comforting thought in a way to think that you're gonna, but very sad, man.
I know that I'm a fan of this guy named Michael Newton. He wrote a book called Journey of Souls. I don't know if you ever heard of that book, but he says that when he would have patients come in, and he would talk to them about their past lives, or how those lives ended, or whatever, he said that they would tell him often that when a person is about to pass, especially if it's a traumatic passing, an accident or something horrible, that their souls leave before those things happen. Like they're grabbed out of their bodies before the very traumatic things go down.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's one of the things that he had found was very similar in all the people that he would hypnotize. And they would say the same thing. Yeah, they would come out of the body, and then they would go to what they called the source. Because he would say, I'm not naming this. This is what they all tell me. They call it the source. They go through a tunnel or some sort of thing, and they're shot with all this like light that's supposed to cleanse them from whatever they had from Earth. The memories or whatever it is, they're cleansing them from that. And then they go into the source, and they meet with, souls that they know, family, like they call it a soul group of people, and they're like people that they had in previous lives, or they, either their wife or husband or father, whatever it is, that they had soul contracts with. Which is, this whole thing is very interesting to me. I think it's fascinating. But I like that. It's comforting to know that if I'm going to have a traumatic death, I'm not going to be in it.
There's going to be some family there to help you.
Yeah, family, and I'm not going to be in the body when it's like whatever happens to me. I don't know.
That's interesting. So, like, if it's like a car accident or something like that, you'd be taken before you actually feel the.
That's what they were saying. That mostly that they'll be taken out of the body before it happens. So you're seeing it though. You're there watching it happen, and then you're like, oh snap, that must have hurt. But I'm glad it didn't.
Wow. I was talking to Cian Schrader a couple of nights ago, and she shared a story about a girl that she knew, and she's put it in one of her books as well, where she was driving along the road. It was a busy road, and she, just like you said, she saw an accident play out. And I think she saw a car flip and like head towards her. Like she could see it was about to land on her. And she said she's kind of ducked. And then something happened and she was on the road and it was just completely empty. And she was just like driving along back in and it was like she'd seen this vision and she was like there and then all of a sudden taken out of it. And there's no explanation of what happened. It sounds quite similar to what you're saying, but she came back and was put into another. Don't know, man. This paranormal stuff is wild.
It's crazy. But a story like that makes me think of like kind of like you're going into you're switching realities. You know what I mean? Like I used to have this weird theory that that whenever you die, instead of whatever happens, like for example, the car is coming towards her, right? And let's say in that reality, it actually goes to pass where she dies or whatever. But I think that instead of dying, you go into the next reality where you just pick up where you left off and you continue going.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's just, I really think there's some truth to that, like there's got to be something. If there's infinite realities, then there's got to be pathways, where you just go on, you just keep going on until the very last reality where you actually at 120, and that's when you die. For real. That's it.
Yeah. Man. I knew a lady, because obviously near-death experiences, that's another thing that fascinates me, because so many people have experienced that. And it's very often the same kind of thing that they experience. And they all say, most of them say the same thing. It was like an incredible experience. And a lot of them say, I didn't want to come back, which is kind of crazy to hear that. But a lot of them say that. I knew a lady that I've talked to a lot of people that have experienced near-death experiences. People that have been on the podcast and people that haven't been on the podcast as well. I knew a lady that was, I believe she was in childbirth, and something, there was a technicality and she passed on the bed for a couple of minutes. She passed and she could see herself, as people say, she could see herself on the hospital bed and the nurses and doctors scrambling in to try and resuscitate her. And she said she just saw a light and she started going up towards this light. And she said, as she's going up, she's seeing like her grandmother, her aunts and people that had passed that she knew. And she said she got so far up and then she saw her granddad and he sort of looked down at her and went, "It's not your time, girl." And she just woke up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
And she died. Like technically she passed for like a couple of minutes. Wild.
So, and she felt like she didn't want to come back. Did she have that feeling like she wanted to?
She said it was like a nice feeling. She didn't say those words to me, but I have heard people say that. I've heard people say, it's an incredible feeling.
Well, the people that this guy would hypnotize and they would talk about going to the source said the same thing. It was like this, you're being enveloped in this love. It's just so wonderful. And you just don't ever want to leave that. It's just so amazing. And some people have to come back because they get reincarnated, right? So when it comes time to do that, they really don't want to go back because you were, I don't know if they remember what Earth is like. It's not the greatest place. It's, there's a lot of trials and tribulations. And if you're enveloped in love, it's just this pure love, and it's wonderful feeling, man. Why would you ever want to come back, right?
Yeah,
it's very similar.
It's wild. It's wild that so many people have these experiences and say the same thing.
Did you ever hear the experiments that they did with people who claim to have near-death experience? They would put a shelf really up high near the ceiling, and then they would put words like, I don't know what they would put. It was a phrase up there at the very top. You couldn't see it if you're below, and you couldn't look up and see it. But if people had said that they can see themselves from above, they put that on the shelf so that ever happened, they can see if people can read that and then come back and say, here's what it is, right? But they never got anyone to repeat the phrase.
No one ever did it.
No one ever did it. So it makes me wonder, does that mean that when our spirit leaves, it's not in this dimension, but it's in a different dimension where they can still see the third? You know what I mean? You can still see the third dimension, but you're not seeing
somewhere else.
Yeah, but you're not really there. You're just seeing only yourself and maybe surrounding people that are surrounding you. I don't know. That's what I always wondered, but I was like trying to come up with a theory. Why aren't they seeing that? Maybe it's because they're not in this realm. I don't know.
Man. Yeah. And as well, another thing you hear a lot as well is that people that have these experiences say the same thing regarding time. Like, time as we perceive time is like irrelevant wherever you go. Like, it's like time doesn't exist, basically, which for us is hard to kind of wrap our minds around.
Exactly.
Like, everything we do is time. Like work, pick the kids up from school, everything is around time. But they say that in the next life, whatever it is, time is irrelevant. And it kind of makes sense when you think of like spirits that you keep seeing the same spirit doing the same thing, right? Is there something to that? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I find that fascinating because, like, if you can imagine, because when you ever hear of like kids talking about past lives, you ever hear those things?
Yeah, wild. Yeah,
it's crazy to me because, when you say that like time is irrelevant, I always assumed that if you pass and then you come back, it doesn't matter when you come back. It's not going to be next Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to, because time doesn't work like that. Could you come back, dying in 2025? Could you come back in 1942 being born?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because time's irrelevant, right? I've always wondered, would there be stories?
And how we perceive time, how we like, I don't know. Like, maybe how we perceive time is just completely different, really, in reality.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. But it blows your mind.
It would be, because I would like if my spirit goes to wherever and then it comes back. I'm curious, would I ever come back as a caveman and have to live a life as a caveman, man? That would be freaking nuts.
If you could come back to any time period,
to
kind of see what was going on, what would you want to do? What would you want to see?
Oh man, I want to come back to when Jimi Hendrix was really famous. I would love to see him in concert. That's one of the things I would love to see. I'm a huge Jimi Hendrix fan. But I would love to be able to time travel, because I would love to go to points in time and be like a fly on the wall and just see what's happening. Let's go see Jesus, man. Is he real?
Yes.
I don't know if Jesus is real. Let's go find out. You know what I mean? Let's see Mary. Was she a dog? Was she gorgeous? Let's find out, dude.
I would love to go and see Egypt, see like how the pyramids were made. I'd love to see that, man. That would be,
because we don't know if they were made by humans. We don't know if they were made by aliens. There's the precise cutting of those.
Oh, it's wild, man.
It's nuts. There's just
and then it's definitely not how they say it is. That's for sure.
That's how many freaking slaves, and how long would that take? We're talking a millennia to do that with the technology we had at the time. But then you go back and you say, okay, were there societies back then that we don't know about that were so far advanced? because we're starting to find certain things now that don't make sense. Like, there's no way they could have done this. How did they do this? You know, with no laser technology, it's impossible. How did they do it? Well, maybe they did have laser technology. We just don't know it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you look at the world as it is now, right? You look at how things are going, how things are. And I know the world is probably a lot better now than it was 100 years ago. Regarding it is probably safer, really. I know it seems pretty wild, but it is probably safer than 100 years ago. Especially where you are in Texas. I've been reading a book about that recently, about the Comanches and all that.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, wild times, man, in Texas.
Comanches were brutal, dude.
Yeah,
they were brutal. So I'm half Apache.
Oh wow.
Which is enemy of the Comanche. What? They fought each other. Yeah.
I am reading Empire of the Summer Moon right now at the moment.
Really?
I'm about halfway through it.
Wow.
It is probably one of the best books I've ever read because I love American history. Because what I love about it is it wasn't that long ago. Like, you're talking 200 years ago. It was a completely different world.
Right.
And I know there's a lot of, you know, it's hard to say who's in the right, who's in the wrong. I know it's a crazy time, but a brutal time. You know, it was absolutely brutal and incredible. And it's not that long ago, and that's what I find so fascinating.
That's what England has been here for a very long time. Very far. Oh my God, way. I mean, we're only been around for what, 230 years over here. And then I mean, we go further back. We do, but oh my God, I was very proud when I found out I was Apache, like half Apache, and because part of the way that they would fight is guerrilla warfare, and they taught the American revolutionaries how to fight like that. Because when England came over, you guys had all the packed. It was a bunch of big packs walking. And that's the way war was fought back then. That was the style of it. And when we came up with the guerrilla warfare, when the Apache started teaching the revolutionaries, man, it was crazy. They were like picking people off from left and right, and it was just nuts, man. But then I learned how brutal my people were. My people were brutal, dude. The Comanches were brutal, dude.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yes.
It's incredible, man.
They mastered the horse.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yes. And sort of, was it fighting with arrows? And they could shield themselves with the horse, basically.
Yeah.
Like, they had this incredible skill.
Yeah.
And were basically like for years like untouchable. Like you couldn't get near them. Incredible. But ruthless. And what I find so interesting is that wasn't that long ago. That kind of world that if you went walking in the wrong spot, you're gone. You're not
absolutely
gonna last. And even in like old London, people would be killed on the street, and there was no CCTV cameras. People are just murdering each other, and how are you going to prove who's done it? Jack the Ripper, and all those guys. But now today, we can kind of see, when we look at the world today, you can kind of see that we probably could blow ourselves up and destroy everything. It's a different kind of danger. And I think that possibly has happened. I think we possibly have got so far advanced, like maybe the Egyptians and maybe the pyramids and stuff. There was a time when we were far more advanced and we did wipe ourselves out and we had to kind of start again.
Yeah, I think you could be right, because they've said this many times that there could have been not one, not two, but several very advanced civilizations here on Earth, and they somehow are gone, and almost nothing left of them, right? Except the pyramids, except the Sphinx. The Sphinx has been there far longer than the pyramids have, So
and it's incredible. And the head doesn't fit the body, doesn't really make sense. It's like it's been carved again. I don't know, man. There's a lot more. There's a lot more going on,
for sure.
But you can see, like, if we blew ourselves up and we lost all our technology, and there was just a few small group of people that survived, but didn't have the technology that we have now, it wouldn't take long for that to be lost, and having to start again.
That's true. So if we had some sort of, what are those things called, where it kills all the power? It's like a big pulse of some sort of thing, and and like batteries don't work anymore, and we'd go back to a dark age for sure.
Yeah,
right?
we would be screwed. My brother was in Spain. I don't know if you heard it in the US, but in Spain and Portugal, and I think some parts of Italy as well. A couple of months ago, or a few months back, they had a total power outage. And
I think I heard about that.
You heard about that? So the whole of Spain, the whole of Portugal, and a bit of Italy, I believe. But my brother was in Spain, and he was on holiday for the weekend, 4 days, and he said like the lights everything just went out one night, and he was like,
wow.
Whoa, what do we do? Like, and every restaurant that he was trying to go to was only taking cash. So all he had was his card. You know, the hotel that he was staying in had no power. I think they had lights in the hall, but that was it. The rooms that they were in had no power. So for like a day and a half, I believe, or it might have been a bit longer, they literally had they had no power at all. So they couldn't use their phones. The signal wasn't working on their phones. Occasionally he was getting signal somehow, because he did message me saying, I'm in Spain, and I messaged him back saying, are you okay? I hope you're having a good time. And I didn't hear nothing back. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay. But he said it's because the signal was dipping in and out. So for a day, say, he felt like they had nothing. Like he couldn't, they did survive, obviously, you know, it's only a day.
But it's just weird. The
whole country couldn't buy food. Like, you know, unless you had cash, you couldn't pay for anything. He said it was so strange. You felt so vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that's the problem now. If you took away our cell phones, and we would be lost, man.
Yep.
The majority of us would be lost.
I rely on my cell phone for almost everything.
Yeah,
dude.
I do.
Ride share. That's how I get paid. You know, that's how Instagram. I get paid for Instagram that way. Yeah, I would be lost without that thing.
Absolutely. We need it. We need it. It's now become a part of us.
Can you imagine that going on for a month though? Like no power, no nothing for a month?
It would be terrible. It would be terrible. Yeah. I couldn't do it, man. My brother was talking to a taxi driver in Spain, and then everyone's a conspiracy theorist, as we know. And then this taxi driver said to my brother, he was like, oh, it's because they're trying to make every home have a generator in Spain. Because he said 2 weeks before, the government was saying everyone should get a generator. And then, lo and behold, 2 weeks later, power outage. They showed everyone what it'd be like. So maybe you should get a generator in your house. Conspiracy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What is the wildest conspiracy theory you've heard?
Oh, man, there's been so many. And I do enjoy a good conspiracy.
Me too.
You can get lost and go crazy, I think, because you go down one rabbit hole and there's another 10 and you're like, oh man, this is crazy and the world's crazy. And
it never ends. Yeah.
I remember my granddad said to me years ago when I was younger, he was like, Tom, the government, the people that you see, the politicians, they're all puppets. And my granddad was quite a smart man. Like he was, and this is before like conspiracy content you can get everywhere now. But before this was before that. So he was like, the politicians you're seeing, they're just puppets. There are people above them that are really in control. And I think that is true. I really do. I think there is people. I think the politicians that we see, that we think have got the power, they've got a little bit of power, of course, but not really. There is people above them that are really, I believe, actually pulling the strings.
The cabal, right?
Yes, yeah, man. There definitely is. I mean, you look at the symbolism in like Hollywood and stuff, and there's definitely like, whether it's true or not, these people believe that there is, that I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You hear about these Hollywood stars that kind of sell their soul.
Oh yeah.
And I believe that they really are selling their soul. I really do. And I think in the music industry, you want to go down the road. I've heard Jay-Z and people like that. I think they do actually sell their soul to the devil. I really do.
Heard weird stories about that where they have to do certain things and they get, or there's like I've heard some stories where it's like a witchcraft thing.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to gain power. It's kind of strange. But you're making me think of like Bohemian Grove. Ever heard of that? And so Oh man, I really think there could be a group that's behind the government. It's not the government at all.
I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And whether that is like a higher power,
Mhm.
or or whether it's just the wealthiest people of the world, which it probably is, like really controlling things.
Could be. Yeah.
Because I mean, you look at the big companies in the US and the UK, they're actually all controlled by a very small group of people. Like
Mhm.
most of these companies, there's a lot of rich CEOs and stuff, but then the people that really own everything, there's
Like
quite a
BlackRock.
small group. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they just had
absolutely.
that weird thing happen over there in New York, which was
Hmm.
really bizarre.
What was that,
But
man? Oh,
there's a guy who went in with a freaking rifle and shot up some people in there.
on the 33rd floor as well.
Yes,
How
sir.
often do we hear that number, 33?
I know, dude. That is so crazy.
Yes,
But
symbolism, man.
yeah, there's a story I remember because it seems like every new president that comes in here in the United States wants to know about the aliens. And that's one of the first things they all ask, right? And I heard a story recently about Jimmy Carter. So Jimmy Carter actually saw a UFO once.
Hmm.
And when he first became president, he went down to wherever, I guess they have this discussion about UFOs. I want to know everything we know about this. Okay. So he doesn't get it from his people. He doesn't get it from the government. This other group came in and they said, okay, you want to hear about it? Okay. And one of the things that like Bob Lazar had talked about,
Hmm.
there is a thick book, like huge, that covers everything that they know about the aliens, but mostly it talks about religion, right? And it says that the aliens believe that religion was created to keep the vessel secure. So
Hmm.
the containers, they call us containers for souls,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And they said, well, this religion was created so that, Jesus and God, all that stuff was created so that we wouldn't hurt ourselves or hurt other people. That's why there are those laws, thou shalt not kill and all that stuff. So we wouldn't hurt the containers. And
Hmm.
so this was told to Jimmy Carter. And Jimmy Carter is a very devout Christian, very devout Christian. When he learned this information, he openly wept right there in the meeting because
Whoa.
it broke his,
Hmm.
what he believed, his religion. He's hearing the truth now, and he's like, so they stopped basically telling the presidents what's really going on. They
Wow.
keep it
Was
secret.
he the president? Because one of the presidents built like a house in the shape of a UFO. Was that him?
Maybe, dude. I know that he worked for Habitat for Humanity. He would make houses for people. Even in his 90s, dude, he was making houses for people. He was such a good man. That was a very good man. As far as president, I don't know. I wasn't really around that time, so I don't know how great a president he was. But as far as being a man, he was one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And he just died at, I think it's at 99 or 100 recently. But that story has always stuck with me. And then watching Bob Lazar talk about that book, he really didn't want to talk about it, but he explained what was in it. And it's kind of strange, man.
Bob Lazar's story is incredible.
Oh,
I mean, for me, I believe him. I really do. I think it makes a lot of sense what he's saying, and I guess and as it's aging, as that story is aging, it's becoming even more like relevant.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, man.
Yeah, everything he said, he has never changed his story, not once, in decades and decades and decades that he's been talking about this.
Yeah,
and he claimed he worked on reverse engineering those crafts, and he even discussed in great detail how they work.
Yeah,
which was amazing. And one of the things that really sold it for me is he talks about this element. I think it was element 15.
Yes.
Remember this?
Yeah.
We didn't have that. It wasn't on the periodic table. We didn't have that element, man, before he was talking about it. But he says it's that element. You put it on this device, it turns the machine on, it mixes in and creates another element, like the next level element, which powers the anti-gravity or the gravity, basically the gravity controllers, right?
Mhm.
And then you just aim that where you want to go and tell it where, and you're there.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, man.
Magnificent. And now we have that element. Now that's on the table, man. It's so
incredible.
He wasn't lying. It's real. So that's just to me, that's fascinating, man. I'm surprised he's still alive, to be quite honest with you.
I know. Well, that's why he came out in the first place, was because he thought they were gonna kill him. So that's why he put himself out there. So if anything did happen, you know, if he just like had an accident now, everyone's gonna say, oh, he was
right.
I mean, he's been out for quite a while now, but at the time when he first came about, if anything had happened to him, it would have been like, oh, come on, man. You know,
he was like one of the first, right? He was like one of the first to come forward. And then a lot of other people started coming forward, but those people started to die. That was the policy back then. They would just eliminate you.
Yeah. The car would, you know,
something would happen.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So crazy, man. So I am surprised he's still alive. I'm glad. I know there's a documentary. I want to watch it. It's a brand new documentary on him.
I'd love to get him on the podcast, man. That'd be
my god, wouldn't that be cool, dude?
It'd be a cool guest. Yeah, he did do Joe Rogan. He's got this. I don't think he does many podcasts, really.
No,
but he has done. He had a good talk with Joe Rogan where he goes really into it.
Yeah, and, you should try it, dude. You should reach out.
Yeah, no, come on, man.
Help us out, man. It's not just Joe Rogan. Come on.
Yes.
That would be the fucking get of the century, bro. That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Who's the most famous person you've interviewed?
Oh, other than yourself. Let me think. You got a huge following, brother. So
oh man.
I'm trying to think. I've interviewed quite big people in the paranormal world. Lyle Blackburn, Timothy Renner. There's been a few. I interviewed, and I'm terrible with names, as you know. I'm going blank on the names. Is it Chris Redding? Who
sounds familiar? Yeah,
he's a musician, big singer. He had a big following, and he messaged me and said, "Can I come on your podcast?" And I was like, I looked at his Insta, because you know I don't care how many followers people have got. Oh, I don't care if you've got 10 followers or 100 or whatever. You can come on the podcast. But I looked at his Instagram, and he had thousands of followers, and I was like, wow, and he's a musician, and he's done he's been in like the music awards and stuff. And I was like, why is he reaching out to me, man? But I was like, yeah, of course you can come on. Yeah, just talk paranormal. Have you had paranormal experiences? Yeah, we arranged it. And I remember I was sitting there waiting for him to come on. I didn't really know what to expect. And awesome dude, but he was like an hour late.
Oh,
I thought he's not coming, man. I thought he's not coming. He's probably thought, oh no, actually, I don't want to do that. But then he messaged me and said, "Oh, sorry, dude, I was late, and I'm here now." And we done the interview, and he was and he's putting like all sorts of big stuff. But I'm trying to think. There must be more. I've interviewed some pretty cool people that you know, when you start the podcast, you think, oh, who am I going to get on? But you do find people, man, and then you find people in the field that you think you're never going to meet, and they agree to come on. You're like, wow,
it's fucking crazy, right? Yeah. Every time, like when I start talking to somebody, they're like, you know who you should be on? You should be on Tommy's show. I said, what show is that? Oh. Let's Get Freaky. You should be on Tommy's, man. You would be perfect for Tommy.
Oh, wow.
It's like, wow, this guy has a big following, but you really have a huge following, man.
Thank you, man. No, I appreciate not as big as yours, brother. But
man, let me tell you, I freaked out because I recently passed 250,000 followers on Instagram, and now it's 255. And then if you add Facebook and it's 365,000 followers, bro. I'm getting close to 500,000.
I told you this when you was on my podcast.
Yeah,
I get sent your reels daily because it's really cool. As you know, you meet a lot of people, and you interact a lot on social media with people, and people send you spooky content all the time. You obviously all the time. But I get one of your reels sent to me at least once a day, 100%. Whether that's to my Let's Get Freaky account or my Tommy Cullum, my personal account. But all the time people send me, and I know this dude. Oh,
that's awesome, man. You know, the funniest thing is when I get like a rideshare rider in my car, and they know me. Like I have this cup that has my logo on it, right? And I was drinking out of it. They're like, "Are you David from Down the Rabbit Hole?"
That's so
I
cool.
said, yeah. How do you know me? Oh, I follow you on Instagram. Or like someone will be like, we'll be talking about paranormal stuff, and I'll tell them, yeah, I have an account, and they'll go, oh, let me follow you. Oh my God, my husband's following you, or stuff like that. It's so crazy, dude.
So
I
cool,
love that.
man.
That's such a great feeling, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're awesome. I mean, you put such
cool
content out, man. So another person, I've just thought of another like famous, like for me was a big moment. I interviewed Brent Thomas, Paranormal Portal, and it's what I found quite strange is I've listened to paranormal podcasts for years before I started doing Let's Get Freaky, and I've managed to interview people that I used to listen to, and Vic Cundiff as well was another one that I couldn't believe I was talking to, and I find that so surreal. Because I'm talking to these people and I'm trying not to come across as like too much of a fanboy and like I love you, but I find it really hard, and I'm like, I get more excited about it because I've met like professional footballers and stuff in the UK, which is obviously massive, and that doesn't really mean anything to me. Like now it doesn't. The paranormal people are like the people that I really look up to, and I get like really fanboy with, you know, and I find it very hard not to get super excited when they come on the show, and I'm like, I love you, man. Been listening to you for years,
dude. That's what I was telling this last guy, Jonathan Bettis Galvan, because I was a fan like for years now of his content. He's just hilarious, and getting him on, it was difficult. I actually went little fanboy here and there because I was like shocked that he said yes, dude. I was like, what the hell? And now I got you on my show, dude. God damn it, dude. I'm knocking out a park right now back to back with these two right here.
Bro, you're a legend, man. You are going to keep growing and growing and growing, and millions of followers, brother. That is for sure.
Well, you've always said that, and you've not been wrong yet. So I'm going to listen to that for sure.
Yes, brother.
I owe you a big thank you, dude, because one of my best friends I met through your show. Yeah. I remember I was flying out to Virginia to meet my girlfriend at my stepson's house, and I was listening to your show. I downloaded it before we got on the flight, and it was you and JJ Rose 777.
JJ, love JJ.
You've had her on several times, right?
Yes, yeah. I need to get her back on soon as well.
You should.
Yes,
I had her on episode 4. I don't know what it is about her, dude. She's special got this energy. When we were done with our episode, I was like on a high or something. It was like I couldn't get. It was crazy, man.
Special lady.
I listened to the episode you had where she was talking about spirits in the woods, and I was listening to her, and I thought this woman, she's really good at this. Like how she presents herself, what she says, the stuff she was saying. I was like, nah, I don't know if I believe that, because I'm a skeptic, man. Right off the bat, I'm a skeptic. And when I got off the plane, I was so impressed by that show and the job you did and the things that she was saying. I reached out to her, right? And I said, hey, I just want to say, I caught you on Tommy's show. I think you did an excellent job, blah, blah, blah. And she says, well, do you want me to do a spot check on you? I said, what? And she did a spot check on me, dude. And that changed my damn life, bro. That was the weirdest thing because I didn't believe her at all. I was like, yeah, go ahead and do your spot check. I'll see you later. I just ignored it. But, I went through, I just talked about on the last episode, I went through it and it was like, what the hell just happened to me? What? Yeah. And then she messaged me with 5 things that were like, she was spot on. She was like totally right about every single thing. This woman was amazing. We've been friends ever since, man.
Yeah, 100%. JJ's incredible. If anything happens in my house now that I'm uncertain about, I'll always message JJ and say, what do you think this is? Because I tell you, there was a time when, and this is going back a little while ago, but my wife woke up one morning, and my wife's had experiences, but probably not as much as me, and she does believe in it, but she's a little bit more skeptical than me. I'll openly admit I jumped to the paranormal straight away. I should be more, okay, it could be this, it could be that. And I do get very excited and jump to the paranormal. My wife's like, it could be this, and she's right. Sometimes I should be more skeptical. But she woke up one morning and she woke up and she saw like a silver ball in front of her, just floating. And she says she's looking at this like, what the heck is that?
Like a
No,
ball lightning?
just
Like
like
lightning?
a. She said it was like a ball of metal, like just like a.
Oh shit! Like the
just
booger spear or something, right?
yeah, just a
Oh
round
my
ball.
god!
And she said it just started moving and it floated to the wall and went through the wall and disappeared. And my wife was like, "What the heck is that?" And obviously she told me, and I'm like, "That's wild. Like, draw what you saw." So
Mhm.
she drew what she saw, and it was just like a silver ball.
Uh-huh.
No idea what it was. So I messaged JJ. I said, "JJ, my wife said this experience. Can you any ideas what it is?" And she said, what she just said to you, "I'm coming over." Right.
Oh
And obviously,
yeah,
is it okay if I come over? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And
yeah.
obviously, I'm
How
in.
long is it gonna be?
Yeah,
Is your flight
could
leaving
be a while. You're in LA. You're not in LA, but in California.
in California? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm in Dorset in the UK. It's gonna, it could take a little while, but yeah, come over.
Yeah.
So she's come over, and spiritually, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and she's explaining the layout of my house. So I have never put the layout of my house anywhere on
Right.
social media. Why
Right.
would you? Why would you?
Right.
And she's saying, I'm going up the stairs, I'm looking, your bathroom's ahead of me, your bedroom's to the left, I'm in your room. Like, she's going through and she's seeing, and she saw what my wife saw.
Really?
She's gone back to that moment, she could see it. And she said to me, like, she believes it was some sort of drone from like another dimension.
Holy
Basically. I was
shit.
like, what? But
Wow.
what made that so wild for me is the fact that she was explaining the layout of my house without knowing. You can guess, you can say, oh, there's your bathroom's just in front of your stairs and your bedroom's to the left. But really, like, what's the chances that I fully believe that she can do that. And
She has that ability. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She did that to me, dude, where she was like, she said, listen, you need to measure this thing. Do you have a ruler? And I said, I don't know if I have a ruler in this house. I don't know. I went looking, I couldn't find anything. And then she says, okay, wait a minute. So I'm waiting, and she says, okay, go to your junk drawer, but not that one. Go to the one next to it in the kitchen. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? I go to the junk drawer, and then she's like, no, the one next to it. I was like, oh shit, how does she know? I'm not even looking in the right
It's
place.
wild.
Yeah. I open it and I said, I don't see a ruler in here. She goes, okay, it's behind the turmeric. I was like, what the hell is turmeric? I was like, what? I look, and there's this giant bottle of turmeric, right? And I grab it, and sure enough, right behind is a ruler. I was like, oh my God, dude.
It's wild.
It's too freaky, man. It's a little too freaky. I told Angie that, my girlfriend, I was telling her, and she goes, oh my God, she saw the house.
Yeah, exactly what my wife said. It's messy in here. I'm like, no, it's fine. JJ won't mind.
Oh my
She's
God.
incredible. How can you explain that? I mean, for a skeptic, like me and you have both experienced that and know that that's real. For a skeptic, they can be like, no way, man. Like, how?
There's just no, I mean, I was like living that live. I was like, this can't, how do you know this?
It's insane.
I see it. It's there. And I was like,
insane,
Jesus Christ.
Man. It's wild. She also helped out. I won't say because it's their personal thing, but she also helped out someone that I know not too well, but I know of them, and they don't live too far from me. She helped out someone that I think they were listening to Let's Get Freaky, and he reached out to her.
Oh wow!
And he told me like not long ago that she really helped him with whatever that was. I didn't go in too much detail, but she really helped him at the time. So when she says like anyone can message her, and obviously it can be overwhelming if loads of people are messaging constantly, but she will help out. I've seen that she's helped out people that she doesn't have to help out, basically.
She's a beautiful soul. Absolutely. She's not out trying to make money, or she's not trying to do any of that stuff. She just wants to help people.
Absolutely.
When I experienced that, and I said, you know what, I'm going to tell, because I have followers, man. I'm going to tell them about you. I'm going to tell them to follow you. I'm going to tell them to reach out to you. You watch. You're going to get a whole bunch. She goes, nope. She says, no one reaches out to me until they're ready. I said, come on, JJ. I have a ton of followers, dude. I can actually send them to you. I'm going to make a post. I'm going to make a reel. I'm going to do it. she was fucking right, man. She didn't get reached out by anybody. I told some of my closest friends, you should talk to JJ. You have some issue. Talk to my friend JJ. They don't do it because they're not ready. She says, people who are not ready to reach out to me will not reach out. I know this. This is the way it is. Until they're ready, then they'll reach out. I said, damn, son. She's right.
Interesting. Yeah.
She is a otherworldly person, dude. I can't explain what she can do, but she's the only one I know that is real to me. She's proven it to me. I've met a lot of psychics doing this stuff. I've met a lot of tarot readers, and I have not met anyone like her. Nowhere near it.
She's an incredible lady. So lovely. And what she does is incredible. You've got the proof. I've got the proof. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And there's no doubt in my mind that what she can do is incredible.
Yep. Yeah. That's basically what part of the name of my podcast, Dayvid Don't Know, comes from. Because I don't know how she did it, dude. I don't get it. She and I've asked her, like, I would like to astral project. Because I actually, when I was in my 20s, I was trying to learn how to meditate. And so I was failing. And then one day, I think I got it right. Because at one point, I was looking down at my body. Like I could see the top of my head sitting there. And I was like, I'd never seen the top of my head before. And the feeling that I had was like, fuck yeah, I'm out of that fucking person. I'm out. I'm free. And I felt like I was going to go away. And the next thing I know, I was back in my body.
Wow.
And I was like, what the fuck just happened, man? And why did I feel like that? I was like, why am I feeling like I was free? But it felt like two different people, right? It felt like the spirit was a completely different person, and the body is a completely different person. And the spirit was not satisfied with this body, was not happy with the way I was living my life or something. It was just happy to be out. Wow. And it was the only time I was able to do it. And I was telling JJ, you need to teach me how to do this. I want to do this again. And she's like, no, I can't teach you how to do that. It's not it's not something that I should teach you. It's something you can do it. You just need to practice. It's like, God damn it, I want to learn.
I mean, that does kind of scare me that you might leave your body and then not be able to get back in. And
there's some sort of thing where I think when we sleep and when we dream, we leave our body. Our soul actually leaves our body. But there's some sort of silver line or string or some sort of thing that never I guess is never broken. You can always when we wake up, we're there instantly back.
Yeah
Right. So
they say when you realize you're out your body, that's when you go back in, which it must be hard to switch that off. But I've talked to many people that I believe have astral projected, and they say they can go to other realms or go to other parts of the world that they want to see and stuff. And that sounds fascinating. I'd love to go,
go to Mars.
Yeah,
right? Go to the moon, check out the moon.
See what's on the other side of the moon.
See what's inside the moon, the base.
What's inside it, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but you saying that once you realize you're out, then you're brought. That makes sense, because when I was like having this, whatever feelings I was having about hating my body, I was instantly brought back in. And what if I didn't think about, maybe I could have stayed out. I don't know.
It's wild.
Yeah. It is the weirdest
I
thing.
used to get really bad sleep paralysis.
Oh.
No, I know that is, it's quite controversial. Some people say it's supernatural. Some people say it's not. I believe it's supernatural. That's where I am with it. I used to get it probably once a week where I used to live. The flat I was living in before this house, I used to get it at least once or twice a week, like very regularly. And for me, at first, it's like a nice sensation, like a vibration going through my body. Wow. And they say sleep paralysis, but for me, I was always trying to go to sleep. You can argue that maybe I was falling asleep, and I probably was, but I think there's something to the sleep, and I don't know. But I'd feel this vibration go through my body, and it was it's a lovely feeling, like a vroom. And it feels like kind of like you are leaving your body. It's a very strange feeling, but quite a nice feeling. But then there would be, in my mind, an entity in the room. that
Okay.
I couldn't see it. I couldn't look around the room, but in my mind's eye, I can see it. And it's just like a black mass of energy of evil, basically, like very horrible. And I would get like very scared and I would
Mhm.
shout and swear at this thing. And then I would break out the paralysis and, I'd be like, oh, that was weird. And
Yeah.
for a long time, I experienced that. And it was always the same. It was always the same entity, always the same kind of feeling. Started off nice. And then there was something there waiting for me, basically, is how I feel it was.
Yeah.
And I had that for many years. I was always, maybe it's stress of work and stuff, and maybe I'm not getting enough sleep, and maybe this is why it's happening. For years, I tossed and turned with what was happening. Now I tend to think it was a supernatural thing, and I think I was
Mhm.
being attacked by something. I don't know why or what it was, but it kind of stopped when I moved to this house.
Uh-huh.
I've had it a couple of times in this house, but
Really?
very rare now. And it's a
Okay.
different entity attacking me in this
Mhm.
house. It's been a different, not the same, which I find interesting as well. But a lot of people say to me that vibration that I was feeling at first was kind of like how astral projection is. I don't know if that's correct, but a lot of psychics and people have said that to me, that was like the beginning stages of leaving
Wow.
your body, but there was something on the other side that I didn't like. So
Huh.
I would break out of it, but I don't know, that's just a theory. But
Right.
I think there's a lot more to sleep paralysis and dreams, and there's a lot more going on, man.
I used to have that a lot years back. And I believe, like, if that's what you think, it's a supernatural thing, I believe you. I believe that it was a supernatural thing. For
Mhm.
me, I recall, this is back when I was married. It would happen a lot when I was married. I would be laying on my back asleep, and then it felt like I thought I was awake, but I don't think I was awake. But it feels like it's like a vivid dreaming or something like that. It's like you think you're awake, but well, anyway, I feel like I was trapped, like I couldn't move, like something was on top of me, and I'm trying to scream, and I can't scream, I can't make a sound. And there were several times where I would say my wife's name. I would like try to scream it, or I would try to get her to wake me up. And sometimes she would, and it would break me out of it. Uh, but I recall there was a couple of uh, dreams where, well, I thought I was awake, but I really wasn't. And I started to test this theory. I remember someone saying, look around, and if you can see that something's wrong, you'll know you're dreaming. And so I remember the last few times I would wake up and I would look, or I wasn't awake, but my eyes were open, dude. And I'd look at the door to where the bedroom is, the door, the bed door, the bedroom door, and it would be on the opposite wall. Like it's not supposed to be on that wall. And then I realized, okay, I'm dreaming. And once I did that, like two of those types of dreams, I would notice something else was off. I realized I was dreaming. They stopped completely for me. So
Interesting.
if you happen to have another one, see if you can look around and see if you can find something, because I can't tell you if it's you're dreaming or if you're actually experiencing something. Because when you were telling me that whole story, it made me think of maybe your body was trying to leave, but something jumped on it, your soul, and something kept your soul from getting out, and it's trying to hold you in.
Yeah.
And that's why you know what I'm saying? It could be that, or
Yeah, man.
a really crazy ass dream, because I had those a lot, dude. But I honestly, I haven't had them for, it seems like, over a decade, ever since I
Interesting.
realized I was dreaming.
Mhm.
Yeah. So for me,
Interesting.
it was a dream. It turns
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
But I think
But
there's a lot more to our dream. I used to be someone that used to think, it's just a dream, it's just a dream. And I
yeah.
think sometimes they are just nightmares and stuff. But then I do think you do have some dreams that kind of really affect you, like that really stand out and that it feels real.
Mhm.
And you do get dreams like that, man, where you wake up and you're like, I've just been to war, or
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever you're dreaming about, and it affects you for the whole day. I've
Mhm.
had that. And I think there's something to that. I really do think there's something more supernatural going on with our dreams and
Yeah.
things.
Dreams are one of my favorite subjects, man. I love
Yeah,
dreams.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had a really weird dream not too long ago, and this was really weird. This is the first time I think anything like this has really happened. But I was in a dream, and I think I was in a dream. I've woken up at night in my room, and my boy is sleeping in the middle of me and my wife. So obviously he'd come in through the night, maybe scared, and we let him just sleep in the middle of us.
Yeah.
And he's woke up and he's screaming at the door.
Oh,
and I'm like, Fred, what's the matter, man? And I'm looking and there's nothing there, but I'm like terrified.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I woke up, and the scene's exactly the same. I'm in my room, I'm seeing, but Fred's sound asleep, wife's sound asleep. And I've looked at the door and I'm like, what the heck was that?
Oh, fuck.
And then, so stuff like that, man, it just seems like more than a dream. I don't know.
There's some people that say that dreams are windows to other realities that you're living, right? So I've had many dreams where I'm with someone else, like I'm married to someone else. It's not Angie, and it's like someone why would I ever be married to this person, or it's a friend of mine that I know in life that I went to school with or whatever, and I'm married to this person. Like, why would I have a dream about this? And sometimes I think about, okay, well, some people have said that you're looking into another reality where you're living this reality. You're actually married to this other person, or you're actually, or you're working at this other job, or you're doing this other thing in this other life.
Yeah.
It's a window into that. And I've always been fascinated by that.
What did I hear It reminds me of something I heard the other day. And I think it was actually on Joe Rogan. I think this was Joe Rogan saying this. So he was saying something like, imagine if when we go to sleep and then we wake up and we've got all our memories and we're in our life. Like, how do we know that is when we've woken up? How do we know that is like not the first time we've ever woken up in this life and had all these memories and stuff? And it's like basically like a simulation.
Yeah.
Every time we go to bed and wake up, like it blows my mind thinking about this, because it's like, but if we wake up tomorrow, like you wake up tomorrow and you've got all your memories and you've got your life, like how do we know that's just not happened for the first time and you're just waking up to this? It's something like that, but it really got me thinking, like you could go to bed, wake up as another person, have all the memories of that person, and you are that person. But you know what I mean? It's really weird, man.
It's like, dude, can you imagine that? It's like back and forth, back sleep in this other place. You think you're awake, and then you go to sleep there. And you're over here. It's just
you're someone else. You're in another, but you've always known it. You've got their memories that are there. They're like if you took all your memories and then put it in another body, like they become that person.
Yeah. How would you even know? Because
how would you know? You wouldn't know. We could be living a simulation every day.
Oh shit, dude!
This could just.
Oh, that's mind bending, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. I heard it on Joe Rogan. I was like, oh, that is wild. That is a wild thought.
That Joe Rogan.
I
remember having a dream when I was a kid. I just got a new bike, right? And I was riding this bike like I'm fucking Evel Knievel, just jumping corners and what have you. And I must have been 7 or 8 years old. In my dream, I'm riding my bike. And I'm having a blast in my dream. And then I slid, and I'm not wearing pants, I'm wearing shorts, onto the street. It's like, loose, whatever, street stuff, concrete, whatever it is. And I scraped my leg, dude. All up my leg is like just bleeding and scraped up. And it was so painful that it woke me up from my dream. And it was morning. And I was like, oh shit, well, I'm going to go and play on my bike, right? So I get up, it's like a Saturday morning. I get on my bike, man, I'm doing that. And the exact same thing that happened in my dream happened to me in real life.
Whoa.
The exact same thing.
Bro.
That was such a trip.
You didn't take the message. You didn't take the.
I didn't listen like an idiot. I went out and played because I loved my bike. They were trying to warn me, man. I just posted something today that blew my mind. I wanted to share that with you. It is about, here it is, 1997. A woman began hearing calm voices telling her she had a brain tumor. Doctors ignored her until a scan revealed a tumor exactly where the voices said they'd be. After surgery, she heard, "We are pleased to have helped you. Goodbye." And the voices have never returned.
Whoa.
Isn't that nuts?
That is what did she think that was?
She doesn't know.
Wow.
That I would like to get that person on just to see what the hell. Curious lady. Holy shit.
That is wild.
Crazy, man.
I had a guest on recently called Orr. Really cool guy. It'd be cool for you to get on your show as well.
Yeah.
Cool guy. He's a tattoo artist. He had this incredible experience that kind of changed his life when he saw these UFOs in the sky.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of changed him, like it really changed him. But he also had a near-death experience.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was due to drinking too much alcohol. And he literally ended up in hospital and was in a really bad way. And he was he passed, like he was in another realm. You know, he said like the void. He was in like a void, but a very calming place, like a very peaceful place. And then he came back to life, and he kind of had all these, you know, he was in the hospital with all equipment all over him and machines and stuff. And he said he kind of like panicked straight away and wanted to put it all off. But he heard a voice say to him, like standing next to him, say, "Hey man, calm down. You're okay. You're safe. Just the doctors are going to come in a minute. Just listen to what they say. Don't panic. You're going to be all right. You're going to be out of this very soon." So it calmed him down. The doctors and nurses have come in. They've done all tests or whatever they were doing on him. They've left the room, and he said he kind of looked round to see who this guy was that calmed him down, and there was no one there.
Oh.
And I was like, wow. So he's hearing a voice, you know, because he said his instinct was like to pull everything off, jump up, and he didn't know where he was. And then he was calmed, and then the doctors and nurses have come in, and wow.
That's really interesting. That's like a spirit guide or some sort of someone there to keep you in check, kind of. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man.
It's a great freaking story.
This world is crazy, brother. It really
is. Dude, so much we don't understand, right? There's
absolutely. And so many people have these similar experiences. You know, I mean, we're just putting them all together and trying to work out what's going on, man.
Yeah. It's so, I mean, like, I still don't understand, because we're like batteries, really, because we have to go to sleep and charge. We have to recharge, because if we went straight on like this without sleeping for a week, I think we'd die.
Oh, man,
we'd be able to make it. What kind of creature needs to sleep? That's weird, isn't it? I mean,
it is kind of weird.
If you pull yourself out of this human experience and you think about it, the fact that we sleep is bizarre. That's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
There's got to be entities out there that don't require any sleep, you know, that can go on and on. You know, I think about all this stuff like this all the time, dude. Like, have you ever noticed, like, your eyes, like right in here in this area, if you really look at it, there's some ugly shit, man. It's weird and red and messed up. Yeah, dude, look at that. And the fact that our eyes are these jellies that we use for vision. What the hell, dude?
It is weird. Yeah.
We are bizarre, man. I swear to God, I'm not high right now. I swear. I'm just saying.
What?
Look at this. What the hell?
It is wild. It is wild. And the fact that we need sleep, and the fact that we dream. You know, the fact that we're having these. It's very weird, man. We have to charge. You know. Because it is.
I don't know what to think about.
I don't know if we're ever going to get the answers, but
no. Once we die, maybe.
Yeah,
I think we'll find out after we leave this realm. Maybe the answers will come.
That's what it was. Oh, it was so obvious.
I know. You know what's funny is I think that once because we really want to know. I really want to know now. I want to know today. I want to have the answers. But I think once we die and our soul leaves, they don't care about this shit. I really believe that. They're like, who gives a shit about your stupid queries?
Yeah,
absolutely. Even know that?
Yeah. How did you not know that, man?
God, come on. So bizarre. Well, sir, I have some questions for you that I would love to ask. I call it the 6 questions. It is something I did for my Instagram subscribers. But now I'm putting it into my podcast, Dayvid Don't Know. So This is 6 questions for Tommy Cullum of Let's Get Freaky, episode 8 of DDK. So here we go. Number 1, sir. Who are your influences for podcasting?
Great question. Great question.
Thank you.
There's been a few. So the first kind of podcast that I really got into was Sasquatch Chronicles, Wes Germer. The Confessionals, Tony Merkel. There's been a few, man. There's been a few, but them two podcasts.
Tinfoil hat. I think you had mentioned
Sam Tripoli. Yeah, absolutely.
You had mentioned that.
Sam Tripoli. Yeah. So I've been interviewed by him, which is wild. Which is absolutely wild. I was on one of his shows, and I was like, that was a big moment for me. That I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, this is so surreal. So I waited up. It was like 5 a.m. my time, and I think 9 o'clock at night in LA where he was. And I'm like sitting there at 5 o'clock in the morning, like, just thinking, I'm about to meet Sam Tripoli, who's been like a hero for years. That was someone else I should have said at the start. Like Sam Tripoli, man. He's a big name. But I actually was listening to Tinfoil Hat, and I just moved to Dorset, and I was in kind of a weird spot because like we wanted to move to Dorset. I'd left my job, and I was kind of, as much as I was happy to be here and like this new journey that I was on, I was suddenly like, I didn't have a job at the time as well. So I was like, I'm not working. I've left my job that I was quite comfortable in. That was, quite a comfortable job. I've come to a new place, and I had this week where I was like having panic attacks, and I was like, really, yeah, man. I was like really down, really like, what am I going to do? I always wanted to do a podcast and stuff, and I always believed I was going to start doing it, but I was one of those guys that was like, I'll start it tomorrow. I'll start it tomorrow. And I think 2020, when we was like kind of locked up for a while, that was a big moment for me where I was like, okay, we haven't got tomorrow anymore. We really haven't. We're not guaranteed tomorrow now. Like, you can't wait till next year because you might not get it. You really might. And I should have obviously known that before, but I needed that to wake me up. So we moved to Dorset, which was like a big move for us, as I say, but it was like the first start of, changing things, going to a new place and a place that we wanted to live and stuff, because we were locked up in London where I was before in Essex. And it was like, I wanted to be by the sea, I wanted to be by loads of forest and stuff. So that's why we moved here. But then I was still sort of like, I start this podcast and stuff, and I'm not very good with technical things and stuff like that. And I was a bit worried about that side of thing. And I was listening to Sam Tripoli's Tinfoil Hat, and it was literally him doing an episode, and he was like, start a podcast now. Like, don't worry about like if you can do it, you'll learn as you go and stuff. And I was like, yeah, he's right. Just start it now. Like, don't wait for tomorrow. Just start it now. Like, buy a mic and just go from there, and you'll learn as you go. And that's literally what I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm still nowhere near an expert or anything like that. But we're going, and that was kind of listening to that episode with Sam Tripoli that really actually made me start. And I told him that when he interviewed me, I told him, you was a big inspiration for me, man. The reason why I started doing the podcast, really, because, I sort of gave me that kick that I needed.
Wow. Well, let me tell you, sir, you are a big inspiration for me. Watching your show, you seem like you know what the hell you're doing, man. So if you say you don't know what you're doing, I don't come across it. You're doing an amazing job, sir. You're doing an amazing job.
Man, thank you. Bless you.
Who are your influences? This is the second part of that first question. Who are your influences for the paranormal?
Ooh, good question. I mean, I've always been fascinated by the paranormal. Like, since I can remember, since being a kid, I was always like really interested in ghosts and cryptids and stuff. And I think the first kind of shows that I started watching, there was a show in the UK called Strange But True. And it was, I don't know if it was in the US, it might have been. It's on YouTube now, but it was like reenactments of people's real ghost stories.
Okay, yeah.
And I watched this as a kid, and it scared me so much, but I found it so interesting. And then there was that, and then there was a show called Most Haunted that I know was in the US as well. Yvette Fielding and people like that. That was a paranormal show. that really got me interested in like, I've never really done paranormal investigating myself.
Yeah.
But I've experienced a lot of paranormal, but I would like to kind of maybe in the future do a little bit of paranormal investigating. But shows like that kind of really, then Ghost Adventures and things like that, I guess. And then like the Bigfoot shows as well, like Finding Bigfoot and stuff like that. So the podcasts and the shows.
Yeah, I think that I've actually done some investigation. I wouldn't call it like I have a lot of friends like Joy and Joey, those guys out of JJ Paranormal from California, Jen and Mondo out of 305 Paranormal. These guys are experts, right? So I haven't done anything like they have. I've done I've gone out with a group called Curious Twins Paranormal. They were sponsoring Down the Rabbit Hole at the time. They gave me a private tour and we did an investigation in this place called the Victoria Black Swan Inn, a notorious mansion that's haunted. People actually live there on the second floor, and while you're doing the tour, they're upstairs. So it's kind of strange, but it was really neat. We did like I wouldn't say Estes, but it was like the spirit box thing. We did that. Dowsing rods. I went into a room that had two mirrors facing each other and two chairs, and it's like a closet. It's a very spooky room. And I went in there for 15 minutes by myself. It's something I would never have done before. But now I'm so used to this now that it's like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
We went to the Haunted Doll Museum here in San Antonio. Also did a little investigating there. We didn't really, that's the thing, you see these shows and every show there's something. They have captured something and it's really awesome. I've done this twice. I haven't caught shit, man. I'm like, am I doing something wrong? What
the thing is with the TV shows, and I get it. It can be quite controversial, but they have to get something happening. Like something has to happen for it to be on TV.
Or no one's going to watch it, right?
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk to like paranormal teams that are like out every weekend and stuff, it's quite rare that they actually get some quite big evidence. Stuff does happen, obviously, but it's that most people will openly admit you spend a lot of time in the dark and not a lot is happening. Yep. And every now and again, something big happens, and
I have a lot of respect for the people who do all the filming. Like they were telling me they have like 3 or 4 cameras shooting at the same time. And let's say you did all night and you didn't hear nothing. Now you got to go through each camera and you got to go all night through each camera, bit by bit, to see if you catch.
That's where they get something though. Normally, they get a voice or a face or something. Yeah,
but the amount of time they got to put in there, man, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So, question number 2, sir. What do you want to accomplish with Let's Get Freaky? Like what goals do you currently have in place?
That's a good question. I would like to be able to do it full time, but my only job is Let's Get Freaky. That's the goal. That is the goal. Yeah. I would also like to start doing documentaries. That's something I'm thinking. I would like to go down that route as well. I don't know, man. I think like I've said recently that I would love to have a studio in the US. In like a forest that's got Sasquatch activity.
Oh shit!
And I'd love to bring guests in to talk in the studio.
Holy shit!
That is my goal. That is where I want to get to. I want to have a studio in the US, and I want to invite guests in. Obviously, still do talk to people over Zoom and stuff, and but I'd like to have a base in the US in a Bigfoot area. And
Tennessee is a hot spot for Bigfoot, from what I understand.
Smoky Mountains, for sure. Yeah.
Next on Let's Get Freaky, Bigfoot. We interview Bigfoot.
That would be incredible. That would be incredible. Yeah, man.
Stop following me.
So that's the goal. Like, is to just keep growing and keep, I mean, I love hearing people's experiences. I'll never get bored of hearing people share their experiences with me. I find it so interesting.
Oh man!
And I just a cabin in the woods where I can record and invite guests in. That's the goal, man.
Absolutely, dude. That would be amazing. I would travel to where you're at.
Let's go.
Hell, I would love to go to England and meet you there, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
come over, man. Yeah,
before you
absolutely.
come over here,
Yeah.
that would be a dream
I've
come
got some
true.
spooky stuff around here. Got a castle down the road.
Angie's, that's where her ancestry comes from, is England and Scotland and Ireland.
Awesome, man. Yeah, come over. You guys are welcome. You can stay with me, man.
So next question, number 3, sir. Who do you look up to when it comes to the paranormal? Who's the guy? Who's the one?
Good question. There's a few. I look up to you. I love what you do, man. I guess like there's a few. There's a lot of people that I look up to. I look at the Confessionals podcast. I love what Tony Merkel does. I've listened to him now for what seems like years, probably 8 years, whatever it's been. I used to listen to it. I've seen his show change, but I love what he does, man. And you've seen him go from like doing it in his office at home to a studio in Tennessee, which is like amazing. And I really look up to that, and I'd love to do something like he's done and build how he's built. I think he's incredible what he's done. But there's a few, man. There's a few. I'm trying to think of more in the paranormal world. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. But I think Tony Merkel, the Confessionals, is quite a big inspiration for me as well. What they've done there is incredible. And he's got like a team now as well. I'd love to have like a team of people that are with you, and so yeah, I would say
an editor, that would be nice, right?
Yeah.
A sound guy.
Yeah, somebody we can just do that, and then they can do all that stuff.
I've got my tech guy. He's gonna put stuff in it. He's gonna add stuff.
Yeah. The social media guy, and
Bob Lazar has always been one of my favorites, like because of what he's, how he's changed everything. I think like he's been a huge influence in the UFO community. Growing up, dude, I was fascinated with UFOs. I always wanted to see one, but I never wanted to get abducted. That's how I always put it.
Absolutely.
But he has pioneered the whistleblower. I mean, he was like the original. You know what I'm saying? So, that to me, that was one of mine, as far as like big paranormal people out there. Because what he did took a lot of bravery, a lot of heart, and it had to be a lot of fear, man. He had to be scared for his life for many, many, many years, being followed, being harassed, and still sticking to that story. I think he's a big one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. There's so many. I'm gonna kick myself after, because there's so many that I look up to. Sam Tripoli, not too much. He is paranormal, but more conspiracy guy, but. There's so many. Brent Thomas, Wes Germer, Vic Cundiff, all people that I listened to before I started podcasting. Timothy Renner, because I used to listen to podcasts. Like if I was having a bad day at work, let's say, I could put a podcast in and listen to a podcast, and it would like make my day. Like I would get a comfort from listening to that show, and I'd be like, this. I would love to be that for someone else. I'd love to be able to, let someone else escape from whatever they're doing.
You're that for me, big dog. You're that for me. You belong in that hall of those pictures of those men. You're up there, brother. Sir.
Thank you,
sir.
Man. Thank you very much, brother. That means a lot.
I mean, you're one of the reasons I'm doing this right now. So thank you. Thank you, sir.
No, stop it, man. Thank you.
Question number 4. What's the weirdest paranormal experience you've ever had?
Oh, there's been quite a few. There's been a few. The weirdest one. I mean, I've seen some weird like UFOs in the sky that I can't explain. They're definitely the weirdest one. I mean, the one that kind of like really set me off and really like stands out in my mind because it was like terrifying. And it was like the sort of confirmation for me that there's a lot more around us that we can't always see. And that was the entity, the ghost that I saw in my room when I was 10 years old. That was like, it it was real. It was so real, you know. I was 10 years old. I woke up during the night, and I was always one of those kids that felt like there was something in my room. You know, I was always a very scared kid. I still am. If I wake up during the night and all the lights are off, I still freak out a little bit. But I've never lost that. But I woke up one night and I looked down. I was on the top bunk and I looked down at my desk, and there was like a man sitting there at my desk, full bodied. Like it wasn't. I wasn't even thinking ghost. You know, I was just there was a man in my room, and I shouted for my mum. She came in. She couldn't see him, but I could still see him.
Oh wow!
And she made me stay in my room that night because I would always get up and try and get in bed with my mum and dad, like every night. And they kind of were trying to stop me from doing this. I was like getting older now, and they're like, "No, you're staying in your room. There's nothing there." But this night, I could see a man sitting there, like a full-bodied man. He looked like William Shakespeare. That's the kind of look that this dude had.
Oh shit!
He had like long hair. He had like a little beard, wearing a brown suit, and he had like these big boots on. And I could just see him sitting there, man, like just clear. And I just remember going under my covers, and I was like completely sweating up, so scared. And I kept looking, and he was just still there. He didn't move.
Was he facing the wall away from you, or was he facing you?
He was like looking towards me.
Oh shit, dude!
But I can't say he was definitely looking at me. Like he wasn't reacting to me. He was kind of sitting there with like his head in his fist, like looking up in my direction. But I don't know if he's actually looking at me or if he's just sort of looking into space. It was but I could see his face. Like I could see he was kind of. It wasn't, even though it was dark. Like there was street lights coming in, but you could see like. I could see like he had a brown suit on. You know, I could see it. Just. Yeah, it was so
Dude,
wild.
What if it was actually William Shakespeare?
I mean, it could have been.
It could have possibly been because he's what in the hell?
I mean, I look at pictures of William Shakespeare and it just takes me back to that because he had like this white thing around his neck. I don't think it was William Shakespeare, but I mean, the house that we was in, it was a haunted house. A lot of weird stuff happened. And it was half a mile away from a graveyard as well, a big graveyard.
Oh shit!
So I mean, I don't know, man. But this dude was there all night, and I kept looking, and I kept going back under the covers and sweating, and somehow I fell asleep. And I remember just waking up in the morning, just being thankful that it was like day, and I looked down and he was gone, and I never saw that man again. It was like a one-time thing that I saw this dude, but he was so real, and it was like. You know, people say it could have been a dream. You know, you could have been dreaming, but I don't think it was, man. I think he was there.
If your mom came into the room and you can still see him, it wasn't a dream.
She remembers me calling her in and having this moment. And
that's not a dream.
She will listen to this podcast and she will ring me up and apologize because every time I talk about it, she apologizes. She says, "I'm so sorry that I left you in that room that night." And I'm like, "It's okay."
It's over,
it was 28 years ago now. Yeah,
wow.
28 years ago. I'm 38 now, man.
And it wasn't a see-through apparition. It was a full-bodied.
Full-bodied, yeah. Just like me and you.
Space.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just like me and you. It was wild. And I've had other weird things. I've seen UFOs and stuff and shadow figures, and I've had a lot of weird stuff, man. Yeah, I know you said what's the weirdest.
Yeah,
but there's been a few.
Yeah, you got more. I feel free to let it out because
another weird thing that happened actually. Sorry, man.
Go ahead.
This, and I was interviewing JJ Rose.
Oh shit!
This was so weird, right? So I was interviewing JJ Rose, and I remember. So I work now right opposite my house. It's like a food warehouse place, and I work there in the evenings, 7 till 1. They call it the twilight shift. So it fits so well with the podcast and stuff. So I work there for 6 hours. But other than that, I'm just doing podcast stuff, you know. Yeah. So I finish there at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it literally takes me 30 seconds to get home. Wow. That's when I start recording, like tonight. So I'm interviewing JJ Rose. So 1 o'clock, just finished work. I'm walking home, and there's never anyone around. So sometimes you might see a car, but it's very rare. Like you never see, it's very quiet where I am. You never see people. Sometimes you do, but it's rare. So I'm walking home and I see this girl walking just in front of me, right? Yeah. And she walks into the bus shelter. Now, once she walks into the bus shelter, I can't see her. But as she walked into a bus, I followed her into the bus shelter. As she's walked into the bus shelter, a fox has come out of the bus shelter, right? So I can't see her now. She's behind now. It's only a split second, but she's behind like a panel, so I can't see her.
Yeah.
A fox has come out, looked at me, and like run off. Right.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking that's weird, but she must have scared the fox. The fox must have been in the bus shelter, and she must have scared him out.
Yeah.
So I'm walking along, walked past. Now I can see in the bus shelter. So I've looked, expecting to see a girl in the bus shelter, even though at this time of night, at 1 o'clock in the morning, the last bus is midnight. So there's no buses. So if you're in the bus shelter, you're just sitting in a bus shelter for, you just want to sit in the bus shelter. There was no girl in the bus shelter.
Oh,
right?
shit.
So I was like, where's she gone? Like, where is she gone? Like, I'm not saying she transformed into a fox, but I can't say that she didn't either, because she was gone. Like, there was nowhere to, and I was thinking, what the heck have I just seen? Like, what have I just seen? Like, there's nowhere this girl could have gone. Like, she couldn't have run down any, there was nowhere. Like, she just seemingly disappeared or turned into a fox. And I was like, that sounds so crazy. I don't know, to this day I don't know what it was, but I remember just starting to talk to JJ Rose, and I didn't even tell her, because I thought, this is so a lady's turned into a fox. I didn't even talk about it. I was still trying to process it because it was so fresh, and I didn't really understand it, and I still don't, to be honest. But anyway, I've interviewed JJ Rose, and another weird thing happened that night as well, because I'm normally quite good at knowing, not looking at the clock, but knowing we've probably done about an hour, or we've probably done about an hour and a half, or we've probably done 2 hours. I kind of am quite good at knowing how long it's been, even though I'm terrible with dates and stuff. But so I've been talking to JJ, and I was like, okay, JJ, I think we've been talking for like 2 hours now. And I did look at the clock, and I thought it was 2 hours. And she thought it was about 2 hours as well. When I listened to the recording back, it was like an hour.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure I'd recorded. Because I normally look at the clock before and then after. But so there was a weird thing with the time that night as well. It was just a weird night. And I remember telling JJ after, okay, and I did see this weird, because she was like, something weird happened with the time. And I was like, yeah, something weird happened. And I saw a weird lady possibly turn into a fox. But
did you say that on the show? Did you say that on the show?
Not that show. We did do a show after.
Okay, I remember hearing about this. Yeah, I think I heard it on your show.
We done like a follow up to it, and
and
I shared it on the follow up. And to this day, I don't know. I can't definitely say. I don't know what happened. It was just, for me, I can't explain where she disappeared to and why.
So the girl you've never seen before, right?
No, it's just a random lady that I just.
Which is kind of odd for where you live, right? It's like, because if it's a small town, usually you see the same people.
Yeah. I mean, you might occasionally see people, but it's very rare. At that time of night, it's very rare. Like 1 a.m, you don't really see people. Sometimes you do. But...
Can you imagine if she really did shapeshift into a fox, dude? That would be so wild.
It would be wild. But I do think that, see, if I wasn't doing this show and wasn't looking into this kind of stuff, maybe you wouldn't even pick up on that. Yeah. I do think because we're into this, we do see things that other people might brush off and go, oh, no, she must have just, run off
to the bathroom. Or,
yeah. But there's no way she could have disappeared. I don't know where she could have gone.
That's so weird, man.
So that's such a weird one. But there's been a few weird things, man. There's been quite.
Holy shit. All right, sir. The next question, and we've already covered this a little bit, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What is the weirdest or scariest dream you can remember? Or if not, like a nightmare?
So that was weird, the one we spoke about earlier. But I did have one not too long ago where I was really weird, because it was like a nightmare. It felt so real, and I was like, this is going to sound wild, but I was like a soldier, and I had a gun, and I was with like a team, and it was very futuristic, right? And we're in this building, and we were running from something, and it wasn't like running from monsters, or I think it was people, but we were running, and we were like on the run, and we were like, we'd gone into this room, and we're hiding, and all of a sudden this like SWAT team have come in and just started shooting us basically, and it was
Oh
so
shit.
real. And I woke up and I was like, I need to stop talking about conspiracies. I need to stop looking into conspiracies because it really like affected me, and I really felt like I was being targeted because of something like that. I know that sounds wild, but that was how it felt,
That's how the
and
dream
it was
felt.
such a weird dream. And there's been a few dreams like that, but that's one that stands out where I woke up and it really affected me because it felt so real, and it felt more than a dream. And I don't know what that was as well. I have no idea
I'm
why.
loving I'm loving when we talk about dreams because every time someone brings up a dream, like would you just it reminds me of a dream I've had. And so this is so weird, but there was a dream I had where it was I don't know if I was one of these guys, but they were like special force guys. There were like 5 of them. There was one real big muscular guy with a giant gun. It was like a movie almost. It was like
Mhm.
5 dudes and they were in the desert and it was dark. It was like nighttime and they're running in the desert, right? And it was just the weirdest like what are we doing in the desert? This is so bizarre. And like the very next day was Desert Storm where we invaded Iraq. And yeah, it was like I was like, wow, that's like a premonition dream or some shit. Like I
Yeah,
just
man.
how it was so specific. We were in the desert, it was night
Mhm.
over, we attacked at night, and that's basically what happened.
Whoa.
But it was more missiles and rockets and shit, not like
Yeah.
but wow,
When
dude.
when you woke up, did you feel that was like no? Because
It felt real, like it felt like I couldn't tell if I was one of the soldiers or I was above looking down on the soldiers. I couldn't tell. It was like a dream that was a
Interesting.
movie that I was a part of. And
Interesting, man.
yeah, that was weird.
Dreams are weird. Dreams are
Yeah,
so
they're
weird.
very strange.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All
That
right, so
was
number
quite a recent one that stands out. That was like, what was
yeah, I
going on?
mean, being in something that you were never in the army, right? Or in the military at
No,
all?
no, no,
Isn't it
man.
weird
No.
that you were dreaming that you were? That's so
Yeah,
bizarre, right?
very
That's
strange. Yeah, man.
God, that's
It
craziness. I
scared
love
me. It did scare
that. All
me.
right, sir. Number 6, the final question. Tommy Cullum, who the fuck do you think you are?
Oh. I like to think I'm someone that can be your friend, someone that you can trust, someone that you can, if you need help. I like to think I can be there for anyone. Um, yeah, that's it, man. I honest. I'm trying to be honest as I can, and and show you the real me. I want you to know the real me. And I do say stupid things. I do get a lot of things wrong and say silly words, and but I try and be as real as I can be, and that's it.
Man,
That's all I can be.
you're a good guy, sir. You're one of the good ones, brother.
I respect that. Thank you, brother.
I
Thank you,
look
man.
up to you, man. You've
I look up to
accomplished a
you.
lot. You're you're one of the big ones out there, man. It's an honor to have you on my show. Thank you so much for taking the time out and hanging out with me, man.
Anytime.
Awesome.
Anytime,
So
brother.
awesome.
Thank you.
God.
I love you, man. I love
I
you.
love you
brother.
too, big dog. You're one of the best, bro. I'm serious. You're a legend. You're a legend,
You're
bro.
a legend, man. You are a legend. No, I really appreciate it. It's an honor being on your show, man. Thank you so much.
Man.
And it's great seeing what you're doing, and you're growing and growing and growing, and it's just going to keep getting bigger, man. So keep up the great work.
Thank you, man. You're
Keep
a
killing
good guy, dude. You're one of the best. I love you, man.
it. Oh,
Thanks
I
for being
love
on the
you, brother.
show.
Thank
And
you.
that's it, guys. Be sure to like, follow, support, do all those wonderful things. Go out, check out Let's Get Freaky with Tommy Cullum. He's great. He's really great. Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much, man. You're a legend.
Special thank you again to Tommy Cullum, host of Let's Get Freaky. Go check him out, man. This guy, he's really something else. He's awesome. The show is great. He interviews, I mean, not just, guys on the street, people that have paranormal experiences. He interviews some big wigs out there, some people who have giant podcasts. He's that good. So go check him out. So what are you doing today? What is your goal today, right now, are you doing what you want to be doing? Are you listening to this and in your mind knowing that you're doing what you're here to do? Because if not, let me suggest fucking doing it, because what are you waiting for? Why am I saying this? It's because my entire life, always thought, oh, well, I would like to do that, or I'd like to, but it never came around. I never got to it. And it took me getting fired from a job I hated. I was working for people that didn't appreciate me. I was unhappy at the place I was at. It was just a constant, I don't even know what to say. It was just kind of a horrific work environment. The people there were not great. I mean, there were some wonderful people, don't get me wrong. But the wimp I was working for was like a spineless jellyfish, and this new guy also. Anyway, what happened after, though, I got fired, and then the very next day, I created Down the Rabbit Hole. I just finally said, I have time now, to invest in this, and something that was a passion of mine, something that I enjoyed looking at and talking about, and I've been working on it ever since. And this past July the 22nd was 3 years of Down the Rabbit Hole. And this past July the 21st was when I got fired. And I got the biggest check from Instagram on the 21st, this past 21st. It was huge. And it just, I don't know what to say, man. It was like, why didn't I do this sooner? I felt I was too busy. I felt I'll have time tomorrow, blah, 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 whatever. It was very symbolic. 3 years after, on the day, I get paid, and well. So thank you to those assholes. I went out and I did what I wanted to do. And now I'm doing this. It was just something else I totally had no clue I could do. But here I am doing it. So what are you waiting for? Why are you waiting? We only have so much life left. Just go and do it. Just get out there and do it. You know what you want to do. All right. Well, that's all I have time for today. I want to thank everyone who is watching and supporting. I'm so appreciative of that. I would really like more. I want more. So I had some really awesome reviews, 5-star reviews on Apple. And if you listen to this and you like it, please consider going to Apple and leaving a very nice review with a 5-star rating. That helps a lot. And it's causing the show to get some more oomph. You know what I'm saying? We're getting a lot more traction, and I really appreciate the people who are doing it. So thank you very much. Join Down the Rabbit Hole subscriptions. Go to Dayvid from DTRH on YouTube, and that's Dayvid, Dayvid from DTRH on YouTube, and you can watch this. You can watch all of them. And I also put a lot of creepy videos up there. I need more followers there. I'm trying to build that up. So we just passed today on Down the Rabbit Hole 260,000 followers. Thank you. 92,000 followers on Facebook, 26,000 followers on Threads. We're growing. And it's all because of you. Thank you. And I don't know if you can see this right here, but this right there is Jason. That is from Handsome Prince 84. This is my friend Retro John. He makes a lot of these. I have this one right here, which is another one I really love. It's Wolverine. When it lights up, it's yellow, which is really awesome. And then, of course, if you look right to my other side right there, he made that one special for me. Now, he's about to start his website. Because right now, all you can do is go to the mall where he sells it every weekend. But he's about to open his website. And as soon as I get those details, I'll share it with you. And you'll be able to order them online. They're very inexpensive. Like, that's $20, man. $20 for that. $20 for that. It was crazy, dude. I should light it up. Look at that, dude. Woo. It's yellow if you can't tell, but it looks freaking awesome. I need a better camera. All right, guys, that's all I got. Follow, share, like, subscribe. Help a brother out. And also go to deeperdowntherabbithole.com and you can get merch just like this. I made that myself. Yo, look at that hat. Go get it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.